U.S. President Barack Obama praises the Supreme Court's decision upholding tax subsidies that are crucial to his signature healthcare law. Meanwhile, European Union or EU leaders agree on a migrant plan based on a voluntary scheme, even though an EU executive had initially pushed for binding quotas. Christine Domingo will tell us why.
In America, U.S. President Barack Obama on Thursday praised the Supreme Court decision upholding tax subsidies crucial to his 2010 healthcare law, saying the ruling was a victory for hardworking Americans.
And today, after more than 50 votes in Congress to repeal or weaken this law, after a presidential election based in part on preserving or repealing this law, after multiple challenges to this law before the Supreme Court, the Affordable Care Act is here to stay.
The court ruled that the Affordable Care Act did not restrict tax subsidies to states that establish their own healthcare exchanges. The decision means the subsidies can remain available in 34 states that use the exchange run by the federal government. In Belgium, fractious European leaders argued into the early hours on Friday over how to handle a migrant crisis in the Mediterranean, agreeing a plan to share out the care of desperate people fleeing war and poverty in North Africa and the Middle East. Determined not to be dragged into negotiations over Greece's debt debacle at their summit in Brussels, leaders instead found themselves sparring over 7 hours about whether to take in 40,000 Syrian and Eritrean asylum seekers now in Italy and Greece, and another 20,000 people currently outside the EU. They eventually agreed a voluntary scheme seeking to relocate 40,000 and resettle 20,000 migrants, but granted an exclusion for Hungary, which earlier described the plan as absurd, as well as for Bulgaria, one of the EU's poorest countries. No agreement on a proposed quota system has been reached at the summit. The Greek debt crisis is also on the summit's agenda. Greece and its international creditors remain deadlocked after talks on Thursday. Christine Domingo reporting for Y News.